दर्पण दृश्यमान नगरी तुल्यन्निजान्तर्गतं पश्यन्नात्मनि मायया बहिरिवोद्भूतं यथा निद्रया यस्साक्षात् कुरुते प्रबोधसमये स्वात्मानमेवाद्वयं तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये बीजस्यान्तरिमाङ्कुरो जगदिदं प्राङ्निर्विकल्पं पुनः मायाकल्पितदेशकालकलना वैचित्रचित्रीकृतं मायावीव विजृम्भयत्यपि महायोगीव यस्वेच्छया तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम् यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तं न विदुःसुरासुरगणाः देवाय तस्मै नमः देवाय तस्मै। Verse 47. कर्मण्येवाधिकारस्ते मा फलेषु कदाचन मा कर्मफलहेतुर्भुः मा ते सङ्गोऽस्त्वकर्मणि. So after introducing this karma yoga in these verses, now in this verse 47, Bhagavan is presenting the principle of karma yoga. Actually, Bhagavan introduced the karma yoga in verse 30 and then he praised karma yoga also. But what is karma yoga as such? What is the principle of karma yoga? He is introducing in this verse 47. This is a very important verse, very often quoted. And we are seeing the meaning in the last class. Te karmani eva adhikaraha. So, te karmani eva adhikara. Through this line, Bhagavan points out that we all have a free will to determine what type of action we have to do in life. We have the capacity to think, and of course our jnanendriyas also bring a lot of data, and our mind also is there which can analyze the data, and then we can think over it also, and Lord has given us a discriminative power, so we have got a capacity, we can do a discrimination, and at the same time after doing this discrimination also we have got a capacity to act. So because the Lord has given karmendriyani also, Bhagavan has given the senses, the Bhagavan has given the organs of action also, and so to act also is equally important, and therefore Bhagavan says te karmani eva adhikaraha. Well, you have a choice of action. So and of course we are not omnipotent to accomplish anything and everything in our life, so within the limited power we can accomplish many things, and so we have a choice over action, which Bhagavan has used the word adhikaraha. Adhikaraha means a choice. which indicates a free will. So the Lord Krishna points out that phaleshu kadachana. So phaleshu kadachana ma phaleshu kadachana. So we'll have to add few words in that. Phaleshu kadachana adhikaraha ma asti. So we have to repeat this much, that adhikaraha asti we have to add into that. So then it will make a sense. So we have a choice over action. Bhagavan explicitly points out that we have something called a free will. And here Arjuna make use of that privilege called that free will, which is unique to the human being, which is denied of course in animals and other living beings, which is otherwise called purushartha. This free will is called purushartha, and because of that alone, the four purusharthas, the goals of also are possible. Make use of this unique privilege, Bhagavan is telling. So in Sanskritam, this purushartha has a two meaning. One meaning is the free will, and another meaning is the human goal. So, So we have two meanings. One is purushartha means a free will, and another meaning is a human goal, and both meanings are there. So where, of course, where free will is there, there alone the goal is possible. Where there is no free will, well, there is no question of accomplishing a goal. And since free will and goals are interconnected, one word is used for free will as well as the goal. So dharma, moksha, etc. are called purusharthas, and the effort that we put to achieve those goals also called purushartha. So, and that is based on free will. Of course, dharma, moksha are possible for the human being because of the free will, and therefore free will also is called the purushartha. The goal, dharma and moksha are also called purushartha, and the effort that you put based on the free will also is called purushartha. So this is how we have to understand, because purushartha word is used interchangeably sometimes. For a free will also it is used, and that's how we sometimes a human being can do lot of purushartha. Now human being can do lot of purushartha means what? Based on free will he can put lot of efforts. He can choose the action in order to achieve a specific goal. And therefore a goal also is a purushartha, purushahi arthyate iti purushartha, as well as the means also is called purushartha. And that means are possible only for the human being, because human being has a free will. So some free will also is called a purushartha. So we should understand this. Very interchangeably, this word purushartha is used at several places. Anyway, so karmani teva adhikara. Adhikara means a free will or a purushartha. And then at the same time, phaleshu kadachana adhikara ma, you don't have a choice over the result. This line can create, a confusion in the mind. And it has been misinterpreted by a lot of people. And everyone can misinterpret, because there is this ma phaleshu kadachana itself leads to this kind of misinterpretation. So when Bhagavan says, I don't have a choice over the result, ma phaleshu kadachana, you don't have a choice over the result. So if I don't have a choice over the result, people think that result is predestined by the God, because I don't have a choice, and therefore they think that the result is predestined, my effort has no benefit at all, and all our actions are then dummy actions, and well, everything God has determined even before my birth, whole my life has been determined by God. So then what? That's how they say, don't be too anxious. Whatever you can do, you do. Otherwise, because your life is predestined. And this is called a fatalism, which I was talking to you. Totally life is dependent upon fate. Your attitude for a life is this fate only. So it's a fatalism, and root for this is the misinterpretation of this line called ma phaleshu kadachana. You don't have a choice over the result. So you are helpless. The people think that we are helpless, and purushartha has no role, it seems. Purushartha means that exercising our choice, exercising free will, efforts has no role. So like some companies, if they have some vacancies already, would have chosen somebody, and just for the sake of record, they give an advertisement, they arrange interviews and everything, and whole thing is just a eyewash or a dummy. Basically, because the person is already chosen. It happens sometime, and they give advertisement and everything they do. So it is like this. Whatever we do, ultimately it has no role, because our fate is predestined. It has been decided by God, etc. It is already there. Similarly, this fatalistic people think that even before we do the action, or in spite of our action, the result is already determined by the Lord or by destiny. If they don't believe in the Lord, sometimes they don't believe in Lord, but they believe in destiny. It's amazing. Then they believe in destiny, but they don't believe in Lord. Anyway, whatever it is all fancies. So we are totally helpless individual, and in support of this fatalism, they always quote the line, this, ma phaleshu kadachan. You can't choose your results, means fate is predestined. Unfortunately, this is wrong interpretation, because what Krishna wants to say is this, that when he says that you don't have a choice over the result, Bhagavan does not mean that your efforts are waste, because no effort of anyone can be a waste. And because karma should necessarily produce a result according to the quality and quantity of karma. So whenever I do any action, appropriate result according to the law of karma is definitely produced. But Krishna wants to say that that the result produced is not determined by your effort alone. Your effort does contribute, but the result is not determined by your effort alone. And there are so many other factors what contribute to the result of an action. So your effort is one of the contributory factor. Your effort is neither totally useless, nor does your effort totally decide the result. So like let's take this right now what is going on. Like this particular class. If this particular class should go on now, let's say, then a contribution from me also is required. I should initiate this meeting, and you all people should join the meeting. Your contribution is also required for the class to happen. And then then the class should happen. No, even if you join and even if I initiate the meeting, well, still there are several factors which are contributing for the class to happen. And that is the electricity. That is very visible. That's how I am talking. There are several factors. The first thing is electricity. If electricity is not there, I will not be able to initiate the meeting right now. So, and there are other factors. Well, my presence right now in this month should be in this, in United States. I would have gone. Because of the pandemic, I am here. Or you people are also may have a lot of work, but you people are at the home. I mean, several factors. And not only that, even if I am in US and I am in the ashram, I need not initiate the meeting because my health may not permit. Suppose several things are there, and maybe rain may happen so much that because of that some kind of a disruption in electricity may happen. Anything is happening. So even you people, all of you, my friends, are contributing for the class to happen. I initiate the meeting. Well, even though contribution from your side, contribution from my side, still the result called the class may not happen. Several factors are there. Those factors can be divided into two categories. Some factors which are unknown, and therefore if they are unknown, definitely I would not know it. And there are factors which are known but not controllable, like rain, not controllable. Electricity just goes off. It's not controlled. It is not in my control. Later I may rectify, tell someone and rectify, it's okay, but it may happen without my choice. If it is within my control, I would tell electricity not to go at least during this 1 hour. So, and my health is not in my control. If health is in my control, well, then definitely everyone would remain healthy throughout the life. But it doesn't really. So, I mean, what I'm going to prove is that so many factors are there other than me. That's how one person told very beautifully, Kim vadishyanti karishyanti vaktarah shrota yatra na vidyate. So, there are vaktas are there, speakers are there, but if shrota is not there, what a person can do? Someone else gave a beautiful another example. Nagnaha kshapana deshe rajaka kim karishyati. One laundry wala has gone, he wants to settle in particular village in order to establish a business. So he has gone to the village, not knowing who stays in the village. And he has, taken a land and everything and made a shop and everything. And later he found that in that village all Digambar Jains were staying. Could you follow what I am saying? So what laundry wala can do in that village? So basically, Kshapana means a person, I mean a monk. Nagnaha Kshapana means the Digambar Jain monks. Well, so Rajaka means this, a washerman, a dhobi or a laundryman. Kim Karishyati, Rajaka Kim Karishyati. What I am saying is basically even though so-called contributory factors are there, still the result could be something else because of the factors which are either not known or factors even which are known but not within our control. Okay, so if this class is going on, I am not the totally decider. If Swami has got some kind of a air that, okay, because of me the class is happening, well, if you people are not there, all of you decide, this Swami has got air, let's teach him a lesson now. And therefore, one day if I initiate the meeting and I am waiting 4:30, 4:45, nobody is joining, then what? I am not going to talk anything. Anyway, what I am saying is class is not going to happen if you won't contribute. And you also want to contribute and you are contributing, I am also contributing. Still class cannot happen because of these two things. Unknown factors, known factors, but uncontrollable. And there are several like that. So definitely this kind of a thing is there. So evidently there are certain factors which are evident, but and the contribution also is evident, but there are so many things which are not evident to us. And therefore, any single class takes place because of so many factors of contribution other than you all people and myself or even electricity, even all of them what you count. Even other than that, there are several factors which are responsible for the class to happen. So the contention now is this. Don't think that I am trying to, what is this Prarabdha versus Purushartha. Now this is my contention. I am telling you what actually it means. Prarabdha and Purushartha. Free will versus destiny. Free will versus fate. So the contention is my contribution is called free will, and the contribution of all other factors, that is all of you and the other factors which are required. So all other countless factors other than me, we will call it as a fate or God's will. I will repeat once again. What is my contention is my contribution to the class is called free will, and the contribution of all of you and the contribution of all the factors other than even all of you, including electricity and everything, and those contribution of all the countless factors, we will call it as a fate or we will call it as a God's will. So one is free will, other is God's will. Free will versus God's will, that is called fate. But Swamiji, we are exercising our free will. Why are you calling it as a fate? Yeah, from my standpoint, even your contribution is a fate for me. From your standpoint, you are exercising your free will to contribute in the class, to join. And for you, my free will is a fate for you. Please understand that. My initiating the meeting is fate for you. So, other than your free will, whatever the factors are there are several factors, innumerable factors, including the people and other inert factors. All the factors' contribution for a particular thing to happen, called a class, is called God's will. That's how before few class I have told you, Prarabdha is nothing but Ishvara Ichha. Ishvara Ichha alone is called Prarabdha. Ishvara Sankalpaha is called Prarabdha or a fate. And this is how we have to understand. So even electricity, my health, my being alive right now, your arrival, your health should be alright. All this is fate for class to happen from my standpoint. Understand this? So fate versus free will. Let us resolve it, because this is a very critical issue. People all the time have this question. Not 1 or 2%. Everyone will have this question. And there are debates and debates and debates going on and on and on. And therefore, only thing is, it's all the factors contribute, then a result will happen. And contribution from your side is called free will. That's a Purushartha. And other than that, whatever innumerable factors are there which are responsible even for a particular thing to happen or for a result of an action is called fate. So this is how we will have to understand. And when Krishna says, so you don't determine the result, what it means is you alone don't determine the result. So many other factors are responsible, they also determine. So if you can predict all other factors, then you can predict the result. But unfortunately, how many factors are involved, I don't know at all. And so even this country, of course, I am very impressed. This the meteorologist or here, they say this at this time rain will happen. It is happening. In India, it is not happening. When they say there will not be rain, you should go. If you are going out, you should take an umbrella along with you. And if they say there will be rain, keep the umbrella at home. Don't worry at all. This is what is there. But even I want to add now one point which I have observed in this winter. Even though they are very, very meticulous, and I'm sure there are so many factors. Somebody told me there are they calculate around 160 factors or something for the atmosphere. I mean, whether there will be rain or whether there will be a snow or whether there will be this or that, they count so many factors. But still, I have seen in the winter, they give an alert. Yeah, now there will be a snowfall. There will be a snowfall, which I have found early. The previous day, if you see in that thing in the prediction, you won't find that snowfall will be there, etc. They won't predict the snowfall. But just before the snowfall, they give some time, then alert. Means they also fail. What I am saying is, they also fail. And even if they say the rain would be, even let's say there 2 inches of the rain or 3 inches of the rain, need not be 2 or 3 inches, maybe more or maybe less, that could happen. And so, we should understand, and even if they say between 5 and 6, this is a recent observation. Between 5 and 6, there will be totally clouds, there will not be sun, etc. And you find that there is a sun appear there. Of course, it gets covered later, but then these things are going to occur. What I am saying is that a single phenomena, behind that there are endless factors. We call them hidden factors, unknown factors. If I know all the known factors, still, suppose if I know all the factors, still I can't control the factors. In order to get a desired result, not to get an undesired result, I cannot control. So even let's say all the factors are here, the people who are connected to this meteorology or etc. I mean the climate etc. Even if they know all the factors, let us say all the factors they know, still they cannot control. They cannot control, there will not be a snowfall. If 5 inches of rain is going to happen, it will happen, it will bring a disaster also. You cannot control. a particular result, what I want to convey is a result of action is choiceless. Is choiceless in this way. When if it is choiceless means it is not predestined, you are also one of the contributory factor in the result of an action. That's what we want to convey. So rain is even a known factor, but uncontrollable. So can affect can affect the class or can affect any other thing. So many unknown factors, known factors, but uncontrollable factors. And so I can't predict the result. And therefore the result that I am going to receive happens to be unpredictable. And once you know it is unpredictable result, do not make your happiness dependent on unpredictable result. You need not tell us. No, we have to tell. In fact, person does lot of action. Person does most of the activity in order to get a desired result. And behind the desired result, they want to gain some happiness by experiencing the desired result. And therefore, basically the result itself is unpredictable. And then your happiness, of course, which is dependent on those result of an action, is going to be unpredictable. So that Bhagavan is as though teaching a lesson here that do not make your happiness dependent upon these unpredictable factors, that is result of an action. Because if your happiness is dependent upon unpredictable factors, happiness would be unpredictable, and I cannot afford that happiness is unpredictable. I can't afford that. All the time my heart wants is a happiness, and all the time I want it. And so unpredictability with regards to the result of, with regards to happiness, I can't afford. But my happiness is dependent upon the result of an action. And therefore that is how we have lots of, problems. People have a despair because they don't get an expected result. So Bhagavan wants to teach through Karma Yoga that you can be happy and at the same time, in spite of the results what you get. So if happiness is unpredictable, well, very life becomes unpredictable. So let the result is byproduct for you. Bhagavan wants to convey that thing. What you should focus is, a growth, the experience, the enjoyment that you will get as the reward of the very performance of the action. Learn to enjoy the experience, the very experience itself, very action itself. And be ready to learn from experience, and that if you focus on this particular factor, action is in your hand, predictable. And so if your happiness, instead of from the result of an action, comes from, with a certain attitude, comes from the action itself, well, there are less chances of a disappointment in your life. So when it is like this, definitely, then on this, the result, positive or negative, will not have a big role in deciding your happiness of life. So, I will give an example. It is possible. So, it is like, a person who wants exercise of the body, and he has chosen for that, rather than going to a gym or something, he has chosen a game called tennis, which he was knowing. So he thought playing the game itself is a best thing for me, for doing exercise, for physical health. So now the very play is, giving the rewards for this person. Well, he enjoys the very playing of the game, and he is definitely improving his physical health. And whatever is going to be the result of the game, that is insignificant for him. Naturally, when he plays, the result would be either he wins or somebody else wins. But since his attitude is for the physical health, for the exercise, if that attitude is there, and that is possible through the action itself, through the playing itself, well, then his happiness he will not be disappointed at all. But suppose he is playing this tennis for the sake of victory, etc., well, will be disappointment. Definitely there will be disappointment, because Even so-called world champions also cannot remain champions throughout the life. 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, then somebody will come and knock out at even the preliminaries on itself. Anyway, so what is my point is, so one day he may win or other day some person wins, but when he's playing not for the victory in the game, and he's playing for the sake of enjoyment in playing or even for the exercise, well, he doesn't have any disappointment. So even if I can, it's the same way, if I can convert my actions into the very reward itself, I enjoy doing what I am doing, and I enjoy learning from the action itself. Well, just as this tennis, gives the physical health, my action gives me some mental health and growth, and so the result will be what? Just a byproduct. The result will be a byproduct. Even if this person wins in a tennis, it is a byproduct. Because he is not dependent upon that. And this thing happens especially when you go for pilgrimage. I will give you an example of Amarnath. If you go to Amarnath, now it's open. And suppose from United States, you have that kind of inclination to have a darshana of Amarnath Baba, and therefore Amarnath, that's near in the Jammu and Kashmir, near Sonmarg. And but suppose you ask me that, Swamiji, I would like to have a darshanam of that the lingam, which is naturally created from the snow. The water freezes, and it freezes in such a way that it creates a lingam, and that the whole lingam is in a big mountain, which is a naturally carved. It's a natural cave-like thing. In the corner, well, the water slowly sipping, and in the winter season, it gets totally piled up, and it is exactly in the form of a shivling. That's something amazing, because it can be get freezed in the form of a streak also, and then the water will not come out once it is frozen. But it is something. What is happening is, it exactly form a shivling at to 8 feet, 9 feet. And then you want to have a darshanam, and there are so many stories, very beautiful stories, miraculous stories, etc. We may believe, we may not believe, that's a different thing. But this phenomena is very, very fantastic phenomena. And that is happening even in that natural cave. The temple is nothing but a natural cave. A huge mountain in which it is a hollow inside, and like a cave, and in the corner the water seeps in from the inside, from the mountain, and makes like this. And you want to have a darshanam in the month of Shravanam, and then you decide. Then you ask me, Swamiji, how to go and all that, and will I have a darshanam or not? And then, as usual, I say that may be possible, may not be possible. You can reach up to the cave, but you may not have, because it is all ultimately made up of snow. It's a snow lingam, and if the temperature is more, it melts, and it melts many times. It melts, and therefore, if you want to have a darshanam, if that is your idea, to have a darshanam, that's your goal, that's the result of an action of going ultimately, then definitely there are chances of disappointment, definitely. But if I tell you, the very journey itself is very beautiful, because you have to reach to Srinagar, and from Srinagar you will have to, from 3 days walk, from Sheshanag and other thing. 3 days you will have to walk, every day few kilometers, then you stay there, but very picturesque. The nature is so beautiful there, very picturesque, lot of waterfalls and these, and all these trees, and beautiful. And then the last 2-3 kilometers is so nice, that Amarganga river, on the side of the Amarganga river you have to walk, and when you reach to this temple, which is natural cave, if you see that, you feel so thrilled about it. So if you really want to enjoy the very trip, very journey, and if that is your attitude, well, you want to see the Ishvara everywhere in the form of this beauty, natural beauty, then lastly, whether the darshanam of lingam will be there or not, you won't bother. But you are not interested in the journey or whatever it is. You are interested only in that darshanam of that lingam. Then definitely the disappointment would be more. But if your attitude is gaining a certain experience of the journey, learning so many things, even seeing the Ishvara in this beauty, in the nature, etc. If that is your attitude, even if you reach to the cave, and even if you find that, well, it has melted, sometimes it melts so fast. After opening, within 15 days it melts. So by the time people from India and from all over the world, people go there, and then they find so much disappointment because they could not find anything there. So, well, this is my example. The result of an action. Our attitude is just for the result of an action. Our happiness is dependent upon the result of an action, called here darshan. By darshanam you want to be happy. Well, in that case, there is a disappointment. But the person who's, well, he wants to enjoy the journey itself and wants to see Ishvara, which is there in the nature. For him, the entire journey becomes a enjoyable journey. A very temple, not the lingam in the temple makes you, because it is not there, but the very temple becomes an enjoyable to you. That will not be melted by the snow. So nothing to worry. Anyway, so similarly in every action, enjoy the action, enjoy the experience, enjoy the growth, and then that you will have, and then you will definitely find that you are performing actions in a different surroundings, in different situations, and every situation provides you a certain every situation provides you, if you are ready, provides you a certain growth, mental growth. Just like that person who is interested in only physical growth, etc., act through exercise, and he chose that game, then the result of the game was not material, was not important for that person. Well, so then that inner growth itself becomes a measuring rod for a success for me. Then external material accomplishment, etc., or failure will become insignificant. Of course, the world will judge you from the external accomplishment, that's for sure. They will judge you from that. But I should learn to judge my life from the standpoint of this internal accomplishment, inner growth, etc., mental growth. So Bhagavan says, Ma phaleshu kadachana. External accomplishment is not in your hand, whereas inner growth, of course, in your hand alone. And so, karma phale hetuhu ma bhuhu, which I did not talk to you yesterday. Karma phale ma hetuhu ma bhuhu. Well, may your hetu, motive, may your motive not be heavily dependent on the karma phala, means the external accomplishment. So when you are working in the world, of course, let not your focus be on the money gained, fame gained, etc., or status gained, etc. That's a measuring rod for the success for the people around, but that's not for you. Well, because why you have changed your attitude? Well, because they are all unpredictable, and material gains means they are all unpredictable. So karma phala means material gains, hetu means a motive. May not your motive be a material gain, and if that is the motive, what will happen? You know, our pandemic has taught the lesson. If material gain is the motive or is the goal in our life, well, one day we are in the top of the world, and the next day, that's how one bhakta has prayed to Lord. He said, oh Lord, one day you keep a person on the top of the world, and on the next day you make him a beggar on the street. That's some, I think, in some language it is there, and somebody gave me this. That is how, and in this situation, in pandemic, we have seen people who are enjoying even a beautiful, big jobs, status or everything, but due to this situation, many people are at home. Not a simple jobs or a small jobs. Even big jobs also people have lost in this thing. Till yesterday they were having a good position, everything, but today they are at home. And this is happening even without pandemic. We have seen all the time we see this kind of a thing. So when suppose if you are heavily dependent, your motive is on the material gain, well then definitely there are chances of disappointment. So So this is how here Bhagavan says karma phale ma hetuhu bhuhu. Bhuhu means let be, and ma bhuhu means let not be. What? Let not be your motive. For what? Karma phale. Let not be your motive for external accomplishment, material accomplishment, because they are unpredictable. And if they are unpredictable, you will be disappointed. And so it is intelligent way of living is this, that you make your motive the very karma itself. You make your motive internal growth through the experiences in the karma itself, and then you will not have a chance of being getting a disappointment. So this is how so unpredictable means life will be full of ups and downs, and so do not make your fulfillment depend on that. Ma karma phala hetuhu bhu. And then where should be my focus? The focus should be very action itself. But Bhagavan has said or not? Bhagavan has told. That's how the last portion is. Mate sangaha astu akarmani. So, so through the action only, your focus should be action. The very experience which you are going to get in the action, and therefore, you should not have an inclination towards inaction. Why Bhagavan should say that? Because, see, when our focus is basically on the result of an action, and failures are going to be there because of innumerable factors controlling the result of an action, and when I face a few failures in my life, my tendency will be to become fatalistic or to become frustrated and to drop all the actions. A few failures come in life, I start dropping the actions. And because of the possibility of failure comes when I am acting in the world, and then I thought if I act, the failure comes. Then let me not act at all. So I have decided to avoid failures in my life. How I can avoid the failures in my life? Well, do not attempt anything. So be lazy, and after 10 years you can claim and tell to all the people, I have never failed in my life. You can be lazy for 10 years and then tell people will wonder, because everyone fails at one or other point. This fellow claims, and boasts to his friends, I have never failed in my life. Then what did you do? I did not act at all. Therefore, there is no question. That's how Bhagavan is telling, Mate sangaha astu akarmani. May you not have an inclination towards inaction. So this is how people say, I have never failed in life. What did you do? Nothing. So if you don't do anything, well, you won't fail also. So, don't take to inaction. So there is advantage in inaction. There is advantage in inaction. What is that advantage? You will not fail. But there is disadvantage in inaction. What is that disadvantage? Could you say? What is the disadvantage? That you lose an opportunity for inner growth. That's all it means. You lose an opportunity for inner growth, because action alone can give this initial spiritual growth. How can you say, Swamiji, that? Bhagavan has told in 6th chapter, in the 3rd verse itself, Arurukshor muner yogam karma karanam uchyate yogarudhasya tassaiva shamah karanam uchyate. Arurukshoho munehe yogam. Arurukshaha. Arurukshaha means one who wants to climb over. One wants to climb over the yoga. Well, why? Because he is interested in karma yoga. Why is he interested in karma yoga? Because he has discovered that's a means of moksha. That's a means of getting freedom. That's a means of getting happiness throughout the life. Yeah, that's the only means. Moksha means it's the only, the karma yoga or this jnanam is the only means of getting happiness. That is our claim. Vedantis claim very boldly. There is no source of happiness other than gaining the knowledge. That's all. There is no source of happiness. Oh, Swami, you don't know. What we eat in the dinner, you don't know, and we enjoy our dinner. That's correct. You may be enjoying. And if you are enjoying that much, then from my side, you eat some 8 or 10 more samosas also, if you can eat. If samosa is giving you happiness, may you eat. If particular music is giving you happiness, keep listening that music. Keep listening. And because your desire is ultimately to have a eternal happiness. You want to be happy 24 by 7. Who doesn't want? Who doesn't want? Everyone wants. And that's a natural desire. It's not cultivated desire. If it is a cultivated desire, I would tell you to drop it. Any cultivated desire can be dropped. Natural desire cannot be dropped. You are born with that desire to be happy for 24 by 7. And therefore, whatever you consider as a source of happiness, keep in touch all the time. Even when you sleep, keep yourself. You keep it by your side. Sir, you will be tired. Anything you will be tired of. This is human mind. Anything. Even you person gets tired of another person. They say, let's have a space. You sit in that room, I will sit in this room. You are tired of a person. You are tired of everything. You are not tired of yourself. You are not tired of yourself. So whenever you get a chance, you want to be with yourself. No, Swamiji, we don't want to be ourselves. We always want to be with the people. No. Whatever the company, best company you are having, you are meeting a friend who has come from United States after 30 years and you are talking about your childhood and all, and keep talking and talking and talking and talking. In between eating also several things, because friend has come, so let's enjoy, and everything going on 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock. Then you will say, okay, we'll meet. I want to sleep. I am getting sleep now. So you are ready for sleep. Getting sleep, you want to drop everything. You say your friend has come and he is going back within a week. Because he did not get many leaves, he is going back. So spend every moment you are meeting after 30 years. Why do you want to go to sleep? And once you go to sleep, I know it is for 10 hours. Definitely. For 10 hours you will sleep. So you will lose a company of your friend. 10 hours. Shastra says, if you drop everything in the creation for the sake of sleep, then what does it prove, That sleep must be the better source of a joy from other things. Yeah, sleep is a best source of joy. But does the sleep give a joy? That's your experience, sir. In absence of your so-called sources of happiness, in absence of all, for hours together, well, you remain happy. If the sources of happiness from the world, if they are there, you may be happy, may not be happy. May be happy this moment, may not be happy next moment. Even if the source is there, right there. Even in fact, without undergoing an experience of joy from the most desired object, person can be unhappy. Right there, I have given you that example, if you remember. The best food your wife has prepared and what you like, and it is right there in the plate, and you are hungry also now, because all the things which you are already there. And before you start, and somebody calls you and says, sir, we have got a fire in our so and so department in the factory. Enough. Whole thing, most desired thing is right there. And there are also other family members, all are sitting there and cracking a joke and everything. No happiness. All conditional. Conditional happiness is not happiness, sir. Because if condition is there, if that is happiness, conditional happiness is called abhasa. That's abhasa. So conditional happiness is called sukhabhasa. Because of the condition that is appearing, that's not there. Unconditional happiness, unconditional, is only the self. The source of unconditional happiness is the self. No condition. You are happy. Such and such thing happens. No. Such and such time should be there. No. Such and such place should be there. No. Such and such object should be there. No. Nothing is there. No time, no place, no desired place, no desired time, no desired object. These are all conditions. Space, time, the place, time and objects are the conditions. Well, even if they are not there. Unconditionally, you are happy. Unconditional happiness is equal to the unconditional happiness indicates it is the nature of the thing. Fire is hot unconditionally. And therefore, you have to think this way. I mean, that is how, Swamiji, I cannot, this what you are saying, it looks impractical for me. Because my happiness is dependent upon the result of an action. If it is other than you, definitely it is going to be unpredictable because conditional. And many times we are disappointed, we are frustrated because we are not getting a desired result. And from this frustration, people are becoming a fatalistic people. People are not, earlier they were saying that we can work and we can produce few things, etc., etc. Now those people I see, they have become fatalistic. Everything is predestined. The person is not speaking, his frustration is speaking. Frustration of the failure is speaking. And such people drop the action. Slowly they become, from the Rajoguna, they were active before. Now they are sliding down to the Tamoguna. Guna Shudra. They are becoming Guna Shudra. Very dangerous thing. Very dangerous. Bhagavan says, Mate astu asangaha akarmani. Mate astu sangaha. May you not have inclination towards inaction. So Bhagavan beautifully said, Aru rukshoho muner yogam karma karanam uchyate yogarudasya tasyeva. Once you become yogaruda, once you have really done a karma yoga, you have mastery. I mean, you have developed an attitude behind an action. Well, for such person, tasyeva shamaha karanam uchyate. Well, he can become free from action. He can become free from the action because action has done its job through karma yoga. And therefore, such a person, shamaha means now cessation of activity can be possible for such a person. Because the sadhanam, whatever it can do, it has done the job. In fact, after doing the job, the sadhana drops from you. You need not have to do the sankalpa. Because the next step is ready. That is Shravana Mananam, etc. is ready and he wants to spend. But Swamiji, you told that karma yoga and both things goes together. Yes, I told you. But now the predominance of Shravana Manana Nidhyasam will be there. One more point I would like to add is, even the sannyasi and the grihasthas, don't think grihastha alone is a karma yogi. Grihastha is also doing a karma yoga and Shravana Manana Nidhyasam. Sannyasi also has a karma yoga, by the way. Sannyasi has a certain enjoined japas and everything. Some paranam, bhashya paranam and everything. They also have a certain nitya karmas. What I want to convey is, they also have some nitya nimitik karmas. And grihastha also nitya nimitik karma, which is a part of karma yoga. Both have karma yoga. And both are doing Shravana Manana Nidhyasam. Then what is the difference between sannyasi and grihastha then? There is no difference, we feel. No, there is a difference. The difference is, one is predominant over the other. That's all. Karma yoga is predominant in grihastha's life because it's a karmashrama. So karma yoga is a predominant and he is doing simultaneously Shravana Manana Nidhyasana. In sannyasi's life, well, karma yoga is less predominant. More he is committed to Shravana Manana Nidhyasana. So these two sadhanas are there, but in the different ashramas, the predominance would be different. Anyway, so an active life also, Bhagavan wants to convey, so may you not have inclination towards inaction, means active life also contributes to the growth. And then shamaha also, well, once you gain a certain maturity, well, you become, basically you get a mental immunity. What I want to convey is, karma yoga gives you a mental immunity from ups and downs of the life. From you remember this nirdvandva we talked, from the pairs of opposites which are going, which is a part of the life. Ups and downs are the part of the life. And he gets a mental immunity. That's all it means. And don't think too much about, totally getting rid of raga dveshas and all that. It is not possible, and that is not even Bhagavan also thinks of that way. Neither the Gnani Purushas is totally free of the raga dvesha. But their raga dvesha don't determine their life. Ajnani's raga dvesha determine their life. That's a big change. And that change can be brought about only by Karma Yoga. But why that change? Somebody asked me, why that change? Why this? Because ultimately Jnanam gives you moksha, then you should be free from the extrovertedness. And you should have a contemplative life. And if ragadveshas are there and they are holding you, well, they are going to bring anxiety in your life. And they definitely will keep you all the time extroverted. Then Jnanam will not be possible. Whenever any kind of a pursuit of a knowledge requires a mind which is basically free from this anxiety. And therefore, definitely one has to be a master of his own likes and dislikes. Let there be there. And you fulfill also. You fulfill, no problem. You fulfill. There is no problem at all. But don't be compelled by them. They say you have to support us. Well, we don't support. But how can I say, Swamiji, I'm not. That's how the Karma Yoga is very important. So it will change this scenario. So anyway, activity and withdrawal both are important. That's what Bhagavan said in that 6th chapter. Karma also is karanam, shamaha also is karanam. Karma means activity, shama means withdrawal. Both is important. So what activity can contribute, withdrawal cannot contribute. What withdrawal can contribute, activity cannot contribute. And therefore Shastra gives both the things, pravritti and nivritti. Both are important. And so Bhagavan says in 6th stage that the initial stage of, the 6th chapter, the initial stage of the spiritual growth is lying in the action and interaction, both. Interaction. And that is why they kept this Grihasthashrama as a compulsory ashrama for everyone. Because in that alone, there is a scope for action as well as interaction. And they have kept even Vanaprastha and Sannyasa ashrama also. Well, they are basically representing nivritti or a withdrawal. So what pravritti can give, nivritti can't give. In fact, if you want to attend the class, basically right now all of you, of course I also, but all of you are sannyasi. Right now because you have several duties etc. you have suspended right now. Right? And therefore you drop your actions, even attending your family etc. And all the activities, all the duties etc. you suspend for a time being, for 1 hour etc. and just gain the knowledge etc. So definitely right now you are nivrittabe, basically you are sannyasis. And then after that again you may do some duties etc. Well, that's a pravritti. So pravritti, nivritti both are essential. Activity is also important, withdrawal also is important. So, but why nivritti is? Because learning takes place as I told you, in a quiet place, in a quiet mind, non-extrovert mind. And so Arjuna, well, action is important. So, mate astu sangaha akarmani. Well, akarmani. For inaction, you should not have any kind of inclination. For withdrawal, you should not have any kind of inclination. Why it has to be told to Arjuna? Because he wanted to run away. That's what we have seen also in the 2nd chapter initial stage, that he wants to not to fight etc. He wants to go away from this. So first stage of life is an action. Second stage of life is withdrawal. First stage of life is pravritti. Second stage of life is nivritti. And that's how Veda also begins with the pravritti. Karma Kanda begins with the pravritti. Vedanta, of course, is all talking about Atma Jnanam. It's then definitely withdrawal is required, because a mind is required which is quiet, non-extrovertedness. So definitely one has to be free from the activity. That is how Vedas, whatever the scheme of the Veda is there, that's the scheme even in Bhagavad Gita also is there. And that's how we have also here Karma Yoga also is there. Of course it's activity. And we have Brahma Vidya also, Atma Jnanam, which represents nivritti, free from the activity. Akarmani sangaha mastu, may you never get out of the society. So this is what is happening, in Chinmay mission. Swami Chinmayanji used to made, after the course is over, in course what happens, just by the way, this is finally, there's just 1 minute. What happens in the course, starting from the age 18 years, 20 years, 25 years, say up to 65, 70 years, all the students will be there. And sometimes couples are also there. In every course, in our course also, not only our Enchima mission, in our course also, all kinds of people will be there. Naturally, but in Chinmay mission, after the course is over, the training is given, the knowledge is given, everything, especially the people who are very young, 18 years, 20 years, 22 years, no, he and some of the boys and girls, they want to stay now in ashram. But it's very cozy. They are learning everything day in, and prayer is there, 2 times food, etc. is there. And now 2.5 years they have stayed there, they have found some comfort zone, etc. everything. And so they want to stay. After the even course is over, after convocation is over, they want to stay in the ashram. But especially, Chimyanji used to tell these people, these young people, youngsters, to go away from the ashram and work in the society, even in serving the society, even in terms of imparting the knowledge. He immediately sends. You don't keep for a day also, because they have not passed through a married life. They don't want to marry. That's a different thing. That is his own inclination. But then, the certain inner growth has not taken place. It's a very essential. I have myself also found the people who are married people, they, even in terms of inner maturity, they are much more mature. In sense of accommodating others and all, because they have faced those situations. They have faced, if they cannot accommodate, what will happen in the relationship. They know pros and cons and everything. So this Grihastha provides a very beautiful thing. Basically, it is karma pradhana ashrama, and that too with such attitude is there, karma yoga is there, active life is there. It will make you it will make you grow internally. And that's how he used to send this, because he is a 23-year-old. He has not done any service to the society, anything. So he says, I have taught you everything for 2.5 years, 3 years. Now serve the society, impart this knowledge, but be away from this ashram. So he used to say, this is just by the way. Anyway, so Bhagavan also is telling to Arjuna. Arjuna also is in first stage of life. Yeah, he wants to run away from the battlefield, etc. Bhagavan says, no. Mate astu sangaha akarmani. May you not have inclinations toward inaction. Here, for him, the action is a war, fighting the war. That's true. So, not run away from the responsibility. At the same time, focus on inner growth also, not external growth. Let people talk about you from the external standpoint. He is a not successful person, etc. But you evaluate yourself from the internal growth. So rely on the action, not on the result of an action, which is highly unpredictable. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.